Hey everyone, welcome back to my next artbook preview video. This week we have The Art of Star Wars The High Republic Volume 2. So this one is a hardback. Quick look at the front and the back there. This one does have a sleeve on it, so let's see if we can get this off on camera. So this is the front of the sleeve, or below the sleeve I should say. And let's get this fully in shot. In fact, let me get this out of the way. Okay, so I'm not sure the best way to open this fully without damaging the pages, but there you go. Let's get into it. Okay, so I managed to get the sleeve back on. It took me longer than I would like to admit. So let's start with the contents page here. I can't really break it down because I'm not really familiar with the comics to actually explain what all this actually means. But I do really like this illustration. I think that's really cool to start with. And then we go on to this page of Who's Who. So this one actually might be worth pausing the video and taking a proper look through if you're looking for a specific artist within this book to see if they're in there. Aside from that, let's skip past the first section of forewords and introduction. That's not what you guys are here for. You guys are here to see some cool images. Okay, so the first thing to note is, well, for me, I've only just got this through today. I only had a quick glance through before filming this, so a lot of this is going to be new to me. But I did notice some artists throughout that I was a big fan of. I did notice as well we've got these like sketches, more like concept sketches throughout as well. I really like those compared to like the full colour illustrations. So like this here, and I believe they're by Iain McCaig. In fact, I actually do have quite a few other art book preview videos of Iain's work. I hope I'm saying his name right. So I will put anything like that in the links below, or in the description box below I should say. I have absolutely loads of art book videos now, including lots of Star Wars ones, so you'll definitely find something you like. Okay, so we're going to see a lot of different covers from the individual comics. We're going to see some panels, you might have already noticed those, some concept art, some sketches, some fully coloured. We're talking over 200 pages here, quite a large format book. So in regards to some of the artists, as mentioned, I only glanced through it. I'm not familiar with a lot of the artists in this book, don't get me wrong. But I did notice some artists like, well, we've already mentioned Iain, and I believe he's called Phil Noto, and also Jake Bartok. Again, sorry, I'm terrible at pronouncing names, but hopefully you guys are familiar with the artists, or will at least know how to pronounce the names. So I do think these books are a really good way to actually find new artists as well. The downside to books like these, in my opinion, where you've got a lot of artists in them, is of course that you're probably not going to like every single piece of work in these, and I think that's absolutely fine, especially when you've got a book this size. I don't think, you know, it's fair to expect to like everything inside when it's got a range of styles. But I will definitely say I did notice that there is a range in ability. So, you know, some of these artists are, well, to put it bluntly, some are better than others. But yeah, as mentioned, the benefit of that is it's a great way to find new artists that you're not familiar with. Especially if you're a fan of Star Wars artists. I own quite a lot of the sort of general art books and comic art books for Star Wars, and there is some insanely good stuff in there. There's also quite a lot of like dark creatures in this one that is a little bit different to what I'm used to with Star Wars. So some pretty cool examples there. As well as that though, we do have the opposite end of the spectrum where it's more like we have vibrant, colourful, especially on the covers, like fully rendered pieces. But yeah, it does look like something that you'd see in like a dark arts creature design book. So this one does actually cover quite a lot of different creature design, as well as a lot of different characters. As mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm personally not that familiar with the new comics, the creature that's on the cover below the dust jacket. Yeah, I'm not particularly familiar with the comics. I did actually buy the first one, the omnibus of that, but I haven't finished reading through it yet. But obviously this one is volume 2, so this would be the next omnibus, I guess. You guys can hopefully correct me in the comments below and give me some information. I always enjoy reading your comments and learning more about these books. So I mentioned that there is a range of styles in here, and it does even include this sort of, I would call it more of a child-friendly style, but maybe someone else would call it something else. These are the ones I mentioned before by the artist Jake Bartok. So I follow him on Instagram, and I've always absolutely loved his work. He does a lot of Star Wars and a lot of Lord of the Rings. You guys know me, I'm huge on Lord of the Rings. These books are also quite interesting for the lightsaber designs. And when I say these books, I'm referring to Volume 1 as well. So I'm a bit of a prequel Star Wars nerd. I couldn't really decide what I thought to these like new lightsaber hilts and designs. That's a really cool piece. When I first got these books, I was a bit unsure. But it's definitely interesting. It's just a little bit different to what I am used to. Of course, these ones are usually set, what, like 100 years before, or is it a couple of 100 years before? Again, hopefully you guys can fill me in. There's some new creatures, but also some like familiar faces of characters and races as well. As always, I will put links to where you can buy this book from in the description box below the video. At the time of me recording this, it's only just released, but I guess that depends when I get to uploading it. But yeah, if you buy anything through any of my links on any of my videos, it just helps support the channel a little bit, just gives me a couple of pennies. So yeah, just know if you have bought anything from me in the past or plan to, please know I really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you. So I would be very interested in hearing your guys' thoughts on this, especially if you are a sci-fi or Star Wars fan. I didn't have any expectations when I bought the first book, and I was actually really impressed with it. This one, I had higher expectations because of the first book, so I wasn't as blown away with this one as the first one. But I haven't really looked through it properly yet, so it's probably a bit unfair of me to say that. And also, it may be just because I had higher expectations. So yeah, maybe I'm being a little bit unfair there. Still a really great book though from what I'm seeing. Very inspiring, especially if you like drawing anything Star Wars related, you know, lightsabers, battles, people in Jedi robes, that kind of thing. Yep, I'm a massive nerd. But that's pretty much it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful if you were thinking about buying the book. If you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out and means I can keep making more content like this. Thanks for watching, everyone.